Good morning, my friends. I hope that your day is off to a great start. I am determined to make today a great and productive day. No clue how I'm doing that, but I'm determined. First, I want to show you guys the fence. Brent finished completely the back fence, which is very, very exciting. And then I had to order a new paint sprayer. And so that'll be here today. It says that it should be here by like noon today. I'm not painting today. It's going to be too warm by noon. But I'm hoping to get things painted tomorrow. But I had to order a new paint sprayer because I blew mine up. Oops, my bad. I didn't mean to blow it up. I mean, the thing was like 7, 8 years old or something like that. Very old. It painted our entire house. It painted all of the fencing on our property. It painted the shed. It painted part of the inside of our house. The thing painted furniture. The thing got ran into the ground. It just got used, abused, and put away wet. So it was time for a new one anyways. The gasket was already leaking on it. So every time I used it, it would leak a little bit. So I'm not mad that it blew up and I had to buy a new one. So that'll be here today. Then tomorrow I get to paint the fence, which is so exciting. And I have exciting plans for it. Something that somebody is going to hate, I'm sure. But that's okay. So Brent got all of this done, which is so cool. So you can see we like to put that little top trim piece up there because then it just kind of hides the dog ears, and the dog ears are just, I don't know. It just looks like a basic fence. This kind of dresses it up a little bit, zhuzhes things up nicely. And so you can see where the new fence boards are and where the old fence boards are. Obviously, some of them are painted, some of them are not painted. That's quite the look right there. So anyways, he got it all done. It looks so good. And I still just can't get over how big this area is. It's honestly just like shocking to me that I have so much extra space back here. I need to just sit back here, and I need to come back here every couple hours and just check the sunlight so I can figure out what I can grow back here. It's about 7 o'clock right now and there's no sunlight, but it is very bright. So it's not a shaded area. It's in the morning, bright and direct light, which I mean, I already kind of knew that, but we got all of this done. So he did all of the boards here, and then he fixed the gap that was over here that I showed you guys. He got the top pieces done. Now we just got to come through and spread all of this gravel here, so that way we can put the lawnmower and everything, so that way it's not sitting in mud or anything like that, because we don't want this to just sit in the mud at all. That would be not good at all. And for the thing that people are not going to like, I think I really badly would like to grow Boston ivy along the fence. I think it'll be so pretty. I've always loved Boston ivy, especially that fall color, and I'm not worried about it doing damage to a structure here. It's a fence, so sure, it can get damaged. I'm not that worried about it. And then as far as like people always say, oh, it's a highway for rats and things like that. You know what? My next door neighbors have rats. We've got rats. Like, I live in the country. There are already rats everywhere. They don't need the Boston ivy for it to be a whole ordeal for them. They're going to be on my property whether I like it or not. Rats are just something you deal with if you live in the country. And I just think Boston ivy is really beautiful. And I think that it'll be really beautiful along the fence right here. And then that's what you kind of peek through the greenhouse. You'll see some of that Boston ivy, which I think will be really pretty. And then it's not attached to a structure, which I think will be way better, and then I'm not causing damage to anything. So that's what's probably going to make some people angry, is that I'm saying that I want to put Boston ivy. I love it. I love it. If you don't love it, don't put it in your garden. I don't know what to tell you. I absolutely am madly in love with Boston ivy. I think she's a beautiful fall plant, and I think she's just beautiful just in general, but you know, that's life. And I wanted to show you this. Look how quickly it takes for the birds to find the sunflower seeds. They've already come through and really just gone to town on some of these, which is really good. I mean, that's exactly what I want. I have these out specifically for them. They're from a sunflower that we grew. If you missed that video, I think that was yesterday's video. And so the birds come and then they pull out the sunflower seeds, which is funny that they don't just sit here and eat them. Like, none of these are open. Okay, and I threw one down there. That was cool, Robbie. Total waste. But I think it's cool that they come here and they eat the sunflower seeds. So I'm guessing that they're taking them away and flying off with them. But I can see this one has been the most picked through and that one has been the most picked through. But I can also see some of the other ones also have some that have been picked through. And I don't know about you guys, but I am so ready for fall. I am currently in pants. I also was just in Michigan and the weather was absolutely beautiful and very fall-esque. The weather in Michigan while I was out there was what our falls feel like here, which is really funny. Anyways, so yeah, I am very ready for fall. I'm ready to cut a lot of things back. I'm ready to cut back the yarrow. I'm ready to cut back the coreopsis. I feel like I've also learned a lot this year. I've learned so much in my garden. Things that I need to cut back sooner, things that I don't want to grow next year, things that I do want to grow next year. I got to move some plants this fall time, and that's really what I'm waiting for. Is I'm very ready for fall, so that way I can move some plants, because I can't transplant them now because we're still in the 100 degrees. We have some days that are in the 80s, which is really, really nice. But the time of me filming this, we are about 100 degrees. And if you saw the Q&A that I filmed, I think now a couple weeks ago, I had talked about how we're trying to get really far ahead because we're going to end up taking a vacation, and we still want our videos to go live while we take our vacation. But that means that we have to get ahead of schedule. Usually our posting schedule is like 3 to 5 days ahead is when we've filmed a video. So like if you see a video, it was probably filmed 3 to 5 days ago. But to go on a vacation and still get videos live, I have to get at least 7 to 10 days ahead, which is really, really weird for me. So trying to keep the timeline, and just so you guys know, like videos are not going to be in the most accurate order because things are going to be filmed kind of a weird time. So while you guys are seeing this video, I'm in my 80-degree weather, which I'm so excited for. But as I'm filming this, it's 100 degrees today, so I'm out very, very early. Anyhow, I had some plans to do. I was going to do them this morning, and I kind of vetoed it. I was going to clean up the front. I think I'm going to do that tomorrow morning. It's very, very early in the morning right now, and some people are sleeping, and I don't want to wake them up. So we're going to hold off on that because where I want to work is by the front bedroom, and Brent is passed out right now. So we're going to try to be quiet. Anywho, what I can do is pull out the honeysuckle that I have over here, which I'm going to dig up, treat for worms, and then I'm going to probably just actually go see if I can find a black nursery container and pop them in there because I would love to reuse them. So we did our diamond espalier here, and we had honeysuckle. I think Brent pulled them all. I think 2 just got missed, or some part of the roots got missed or whatever. And so 2 of them have come back. So I'm going to dig those up and pull them, and then I think I'm going to replant them into a nursery container and let them kind of grow on, and then I can use them somewhere else on the property if I want. Okay, I've got the honeysuckle pulled out. I'm not 100% certain those will live, but it'll be a fun experiment to see if they do live. I'm realizing right now that I should have really washed those roots, and I didn't wash the roots because if there were eggs on them from jumping worms, they're in that container now, which at the end of the day it's not the end of the world. I'll just treat those for jumping worms. I will add them to our list of things that we have to treat. I can already see the ground over there flailing from jumping worms. If you don't know, I have worms. It's super fun. It's actually terrible. They're super invasive. They're a parasite, basically. Can't get rid of them. And then I did broadcast the lawn. So I kind of do two different methods for jumping worms. I do the broadcast, and I also do mixing it in water, and it kind of depends on the area. So like our lawn, we have sprinklers in this area, so I will turn the sprinklers on, and that will get the jumping worms. That'll put tea seed meal, which is what we're using, and it'll dilute it, and then that'll put it into the soil, and then the jumping worms will die from that. And then in areas like over here, where I no longer have irrigation turned on to this area, it's all turned off to this area. So there's not going to get, if I broadcasted it, it's not going to get wet. So I have to either sit there with a hose, or I have to go in with a watering can with some of the liquid. And so I just go in with some of the water with the liquid, and I just kind of like get it at the base of each one of these diamonds, because that's where the ground was the most wet, because that's where our irrigation used to go off. So I can actually already see them. I can see them in the gravel flailing around. So that's good. They're on their way out. I'm going to turn the sprinklers on right now and let it run for about 5-10 minutes, and then we'll see how many more jumping worms come. The life cycle of a jumping worm is that they can hatch, and then within 60 to 70 days, I mean, I'm not the expert on this, but 60 to 70 days, they can start reproducing. And so you want to do this every 60 days. I'm doing it less than 60 days. I'm doing this every like 30-ish days is when we decided to kind of reapply this. Just because in the wintertime, what'll happen is that in colder climates, the worms will die. We don't get cold here, and so they don't ever have a chance to like stop reproducing. They'll reproduce year round here. And so I'm going to have to treat throughout the year. I was going to do it quarterly, and I've decided to not. I've just decided, we're going to just do it once a month. It's technically a fertilizer, and so we're just gonna do a monthly fertilizing. Our lawn actually looks really, really good since we've started doing this. But yeah, jumping worms, not great. They're invasive. They destroy your soil, and then nothing can grow. They compete for the nutrients with the good worms, and they go through nutrients at such a rate that nothing else can eat, and then your plants die, and your native worms die, and the good insects die. So they're really, really bad. It's a tough subject because some people are like, why are you killing animals? They have to go. They're invasive. Anyways, if you want them on your property, let me know. You can come here. You can dig up a few. You can dig up as many as you want, and you can take them to your house. I don't want them here at all. They're bad. They're destroying our ground, and nothing can grow. So I'm going to turn those on, let that run for a little bit, and then I don't really know what else I'm going to do today. We'll see what happens. So the lawn's just going to go off for 5 minutes, and that should be enough to get the ground soaking wet to dilute the tea seed meal, so that way the worms get off my property forever. Okay, we're gonna keep the rest of this video so mellow. I've got a million things in the garden that I need to do, but we're not doing them today. Not happening, because I have a project that I have to do tomorrow that's going to be kind of a big project that's kind of exhausting, and I don't know if I want to exert myself today by pulling weeds and doing all the things that I really should be doing. Tomorrow, we're going to paint the back fence. The paint sprayer should be here today, by the end of the day. I'm not going to do it tonight. I'm going to do it tomorrow. So that means today is going to be just one more thing that I'm going to do in the garden. I'm going to order my seeds, my fall seeds. I need to order those. So I need to get those ordered today, which will be fine because I can do that when it gets really hot out. It's about 9:30 now. And I was going to do like cleanup in the front. That's not happening today. It's already too sunny in the front. Like the front yard, I have to get out there like very, very early in the morning. So it's in shade. I have to be out there by like 7. Otherwise it's in sun, and otherwise there's too many people driving by. And then also I can't film because it's too bright, if that makes any sense at all. Anyways, I don't know why you guys watch this show. Anyways, I have one plant that I had bought from High Hand a while ago. It is in a plastic hanging pot. It is the faux ivy plant. It's like a succulent, but it looks like an ivy. It's really cool. I'll show you that in a second. And I'm going to pot it up today. I really want to get it potted up. And I think what I'm going to do is I've got this perfect container for it. And then I have these bamboo stakes because it winds, it grows, it winds like a vine, but it looks like an ivy, but it's a succulent. It's so cool. So I was digging through my hoard of pots that I keep over here. And I was going to originally use this one right here. I was like, oh, that's perfect. And then I found these bamboo stakes. And I was going to create like a little bamboo trellis with these guys. So like have them kind of come up. And I was like, oh, that looks not correct. And then I saw this one that was hiding in the very back. It looks like a basket. How stinking cute is this? It's a little dirty, but it's also bigger. And then I'm going to put these bamboo stakes in here, and then I will tie them up at the very top. And then that'll give it something that it can wind up. And I just thought that this was so cute. I love the basket weave on it. I found this from a local statuary yard. They're no longer open, so I don't have a source for those, so I am sorry about it. But I thought that these would be perfect. So let's go grab that little plant and we'll get it potted up. I really need to figure out a potting bench for in the greenhouse. I need to figure out something for that area. Then I can work in the greenhouse. The bummer about a lot of this is that like we have the greenhouse and it's going to be a working greenhouse for the 50-50 halfway. I get a lot of comments about like things that I buy for the greenhouse, and there a lot of comments are like, Robbie, is this not going to be a working greenhouse? What are you doing with this? It is a working greenhouse in the winter months, is what it's going to be. But then during the rest of the year, it's going to be a hangout, and it's going to be mostly a hangout for mornings for like coffee and things like that. I still want it to be pretty. I don't want it to be an ugly working greenhouse with just ugly pots and soil and things like that. That's not, I don't like that. So it's going to be a pretty greenhouse, a pretty working greenhouse. I'm going to have decor in there. I'm going to have a table in there so I can sit out there and enjoy my greenhouse. I mean, I don't know how long you guys spend potting up plants, but it's not, for me, it's not hours every single week, where I do spend hours every week drinking coffee every morning, and I do spend hours just hanging out in the garden. And so I still want it to feel like a pretty space, and then it'll be a pretty space that I can hang out year round. So I think that confuses some people when I buy things for the greenhouse that are not what you would typically see in like a working greenhouse. So yes, it will be a working greenhouse. No, I cannot grow things in there during the summer months. It's too hot in the summer months for anything to survive, so nothing's going to be growing in there in those months. But it'll be great for the winter time, for me to start seeds and winter things over. Other than that, it's a pretty place to hang out. So this is the variegated wax ivy, and it's so weird. It's very, very waxy. It feels not real, but it looks so much like English ivy, and it's amazing. I think it's such a cool plant. I can tell that maybe the dogs did some damage to this. That's okay. But you can see it just kind of grows. It's got these long tendrils, and it just kind of like winds up in itself. It's in a very, very tiny pot. I paid $20 for it, so I'm sure it's going to be very happy to get out of this container. It says on the tag that it'll get like shades of like pink blush and like purple around the edges of it. We'll see. I'm not going to hold my breath on that, but I'm not mad at just this alone looking like this. I think that it's so pretty. So it's a succulent, so it doesn't like cold temperatures. So if you're somewhere that's cold, it'll be something that you need to bring in the winter time. I think this is more of a house plant. Some of these leaves are so, I just broke that off. Some of these leaves are so thick, it's crazy. They're very succulent-like. See that? But they're so big. It's very, very beautiful. I really, really like this a lot. I'm hoping that it does really well in my area. because I would love to have this in a few other places or something like that. I don't know. I just think it's so unique. I've never seen anything like it. It says that it does like fertile soil, so I will go in with a little bit of fertilizer on this one, and well draining soil, and then medium light. So I probably won't put this in a full sun location until I can see how it goes. But look at that variegation. Isn't that amazing? I think it's so unique. You can see like some of this might have gotten just like a tinge bit of too much sun. So I'll come through and give this a good little cleanup. So anyways, I thought that that would look really pretty in this basket container. And then it can have this trellis to grow up, and that'll buy me some time. I don't know how fast of a grower it is. I don't really know a whole lot about this plant. I just thought it was so unique when I saw it hanging, and I thought for 20 bucks, kind of expensive, but also really, really cool. So I'm gonna take off the clips down here, and then we're gonna go pot this up in the greenhouse actually. I think that'll be easier because I do have a small table in there. Okay, I love this. I love the basket. I love the vine itself. I love the whole vibe. I went in and I did top dress it with some gravel, and this is just the gravel that we have on our walkway. And you can go to really any gravel yard and just, you can usually buy a bucket full if you need to. It's usually like $5 for a bucket. Totally worth it. I'm using it as a sense of mulch almost, so it'll help with water retention, so the soil doesn't just so the air doesn't just wick it from the soil from the top, even though concrete is kind of a porous material, and it will wick the moisture away. So I am gonna have to kind of keep up on this. I did run tubing through the bottom of it, so that way if I decide at any point to actually hook it up to irrigation, I could very easily. I am thinking that I'm gonna keep it inside the greenhouse, so it will dry out pretty quickly in here. That's just kind of the name of the game with greenhouse in a hot, dry climate. We don't get moisture in here. It's just very hot here. So doors are usually open. All of the vents are usually open. So we'll see what happens. But I love that in here so much. I really need to get a potting bench in here, so that way I can do all my potting on a potting bench. So that way I can, make a mess there instead of on my table. This is where we usually have coffee in the mornings, or sometimes we have dinner. Our favorite dinner is just a whole artichoke, one for me, one for Brent, and a side of tater tots. And that's kind of been our go-to dinner for the last probably month now. I've had so many artichokes, it's insane. And we love to come sit out here, eat the artichokes on the table. have the doors open. Usually in the evening it cools down lately, which has been nice because that's not always the case in the winter time here. So it's been a really summertime, not winter time, cools down in the winter time. That's not always the case in the summertime for us. So it's been really nice that it cools down, to have the doors open, the windows open, sit out here, have dinner. Yeah. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I absolutely love how that turned out. I think it is very cottagey and very romantic. I love a good basket, and to have a cement basket, I think it's very, very pretty. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It's getting warm outside now. It's a little bit later than I like to be out here because it does heat up quick. I'm very excited for it to cool down. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for visiting our garden, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.